All right, today we're jumping into a book that honestly created a massive cultural shift. It's Janet Woititz's Adult Children of Alcoholics. This book gave a name, a language, to a whole set of feelings and behaviors that millions of people were going through but had no idea how to talk about. Let's get into why it was such a game changer.
Really think about that question. It's that feeling of being on the outside looking in, watching other people and just trying to copy them, hoping you get it right. It's like you're missing some kind of internal instruction manual that everyone else got at birth.
So when this book came out in 1983, it was like someone flipped a switch in a dark room for a whole lot of people. All of a sudden, individuals who felt totally alone, who thought they were just weird, realized, wait a minute, I'm not alone. I'm not broken. This is a thing.
And this right here, this guessing game, is what Woititz said was the #1 most fundamental trait. It's the shaky ground that everything else is built on.
So the term she uses is ACoA. It's for anyone who grew up in a home where the only predictable thing was unpredictability, where chaos was kind of the baseline. And because of that, as Woititz points out, you don't have a frame of reference. You don't know what a normal Tuesday night is supposed to look like.
And this quote just nails it. The key thing to understand here is that this isn't about being unintelligent or not having social skills. It's about missing a foundational piece of data. It's like trying to learn a language by only watching movies with the sound off. You're just imitating shapes without understanding the meaning.
Okay, so to really bring this into focus, Woititz did something incredibly powerful. She made a list. And for so many readers, seeing this list was the very first time their deepest, most private struggles were written down on paper as a shared pattern.
She identified 13 common characteristics. Reading through this list became this huge aha moment for countless people. It showed them that these weren't a bunch of random personal flaws. They were learned responses to a crazy environment.
And just look at the scope of this. It's huge. It covers everything from your inner world, like being your own harshest critic, to how you act with other people, like being intensely loyal, sometimes to a fault. It even affects your ability to just let go and have a good time. You see how they're all connected? They're not just random quirks.
So the big question is, where in the world do these traits come from? Well, Woititz traces them all the way back to childhood, specifically to the survival roles that kids create for themselves to cope.
Can you imagine living with that feeling every single day of your childhood? The ground is constantly shifting beneath your feet. You learn that you can't rely on your environment. So what do? You adapt. You pick a role, a character to play that keeps you safe.
And these are the classic roles. But the most important part is the huge gap between what others see on the outside and what the child is actually feeling on the inside. The responsible one looks like a little superhero, but inside they feel this crushing weight. The clown makes everyone laugh, but it's really a way to hide how scared they are. These roles are survival masks, and people often wear them well into adulthood without even realizing.
This quote from someone in the book just connects all the dots perfectly, doesn't it? That adult fear of intimacy, of love not being real or being taken away, it doesn't come from nowhere. It's a direct echo of a childhood where love felt conditional and could vanish in a second.
Now this deep-seated confusion gets even worse because of something Woititz calls double messages. These are these constant contradictions that basically teach a kid not to trust what they see and feel.
So, for instance, a parent might say the words, "I love you," but their actions, their tone, their whole vibe is screaming, "Go away." So as a kid, you internalize this crazy paradox. You learn that love is a thing that also pushes you away, which you can imagine creates a whole mess of confusion around relationships later in life.
Here's another one. The stated family rule is always tell the truth. But the unspoken rule, the one you actually learn, is do not tell any truth that is going to upset the apple cart. So you learn pretty quickly that honesty can be dangerous and that sometimes hiding the truth is what keeps things peaceful.
And then there's this one, the paradox of worth. You're constantly being told you can't do anything right. But in the very next breath, you're the one the parent leans on, the one they need to function. So you grew up with this impossible internal conflict. Am I completely useless, or am I the only thing holding this family together? The answer feels like a constant, stressful both.
So after laying out all this heavy, complicated stuff, the book doesn't just drop you there. Its central message is actually one of incredible hope. The whole entire point of seeing these patterns is so you can finally break free from them.
This quote is really the heart of the whole book. What Woititz is saying is that these traits, these roles, they aren't a life sentence. They're not who you are. They're what you learned to do to get by. And once you have that knowledge, once you see it for what it is, you suddenly have choices you never had before. Ultimately, the real power of this book is just validation. It's the profound relief of seeing your story and realizing you're not alone, that what you went through has a name. And that understanding, that self-acceptance, is the key that unlocks the door to actually making different choices for your life.
And that's really the question the book leaves us with. By showing you the why behind it all, it puts the power right back in your hands. It suggests that once you make these unconscious patterns conscious, well, what you do next is finally up to you.